I'm going to make myself here. Wait a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so today we're going to talk about social media. I was on a call yesterday. I have a social media coach that I have used for years, and she did an updated version of the algorithm, kind of gave us a briefing on that yesterday. So most of this is going to be Instagram facing, but it's very applicable to the Facebook algorithm as well. So kind of keep that in mind. But we're just going to dive right in. If you guys have questions, just raise your hand and I'll stop and try to address those as well. But let's start off by talking about what was versus what is going to be or what is now. So 2024, how the algorithm worked versus how it maybe is pivoting in 2025. So we've got the especially for Instagram, hashtags used to be really, really important. And they're going away from this hashtags model to more SEO keywords. So you can still use hashtags, but you want to make sure that your hashtags are actually optimized towards SEO searches. So what that means is you're going to want to put phrases in there that are going to hit search engines like Google, all the things, right? So making sure that your hashtags are relevant to the video and giving a real helpful overview of what the video is so that as people are Googling, realtors in Des Moines, I want my videos to pop up. And now you'll notice when you Google things, a lot of times it's Facebook videos, Instagram videos, those kind of things that pop up. So really pivoting from the hashtags being kind of like just fun hashtags that are like sayings or, whatever trending things to more being SEO driven keywords. The second thing is Reels. So Reels was really vital in 2024, especially if you wanted to build an audience. Reels are still going to play an important role, but for Instagram especially, carousels are now going to be very important. And carousels work a lot like a reel in that you've got like static pictures, 10 or more of them, and then you're going to add music and text and different things to them. So your first picture in the carousel needs to be captured, like needs to be captivating. The my coach had said you put it in so you've got like a template that has like borders on it, and then you can put a hook in there with your picture or whatever to start the carousel, and then your carousel pictures following. So if you're doing a carousel, let's say for a just listed property, your front page is going to look almost like what you would normally do for a flyer or post, but instead of just like having the description or anything like that, you want a really catchy hook on that front that's going to get their attention and make them look through the carousel. And then the carousel is going to become a reel essentially. You're going to want to make sure you're using trending music too. So trending music is really vital if you want to capture a new audience. So your audience is still going to see your reel, but because you're using that trending audio, it actually increases your reach out to people that aren't necessarily in your feed already or aren't necessarily connected with you already. So trending audio becomes very important, especially in those carousels. Last year, it was about likes and comments, right? Engagement. We heard that a lot. That was more likes and comments. This year, it's pivoting to more of a relationship-based model. We're looking for shares and saves. Why shares and saves over likes and comments? Likes are easy, right? People can just hit the like button and move on. Comments are good because that's engaging and those are still important. But the shares tell you that that content is something that more people are going to want to consume. It's good, valuable content. And then the saves, again, it's something that someone either wants to keep or recreate. So they're putting a heavy emphasis on the shares and the saves over the likes and the comments. And there's ways that we'll go over here in a little bit of how to change that. How do we get our likes and how do we actually get our shares? We can kind of talk about that as we get past this here in a minute. The other thing you're going to see is fluffy captions are gone. It was really about, before kind of having these fluffy captions that made people read and just had a lot of words in them to keep people reading so that the reel would play again and again and again, and you'd get that playtime. Well, now it's more about story-driven captions. So I think this is where we're going to dive back into or really lean on AI to help us recreate what we want to say, but in a captivating storytelling way. So your captions need to be more of a story versus more of just, I got a lot of extra fluff in here so that they'll keep reading and that reel will keep turning. I like this one. It used to be posting, you needed to post 3 times a day to really capture the algorithm and get the engagement you needed. That's out the window. They've been talking for a long time about it's always quality over quantity, but now that becomes even more important. So my coach has pivoted from telling me I need to post 3 times a day to I only need to post 3 to 5 times a week, which I absolutely love because then you can be more thoughtful about what you're posting and putting out there, and you don't feel like you have to be doing it and be on all the time. What was the other ones here? The follower count. So it used to be, how many followers you have was important. Now it's really that loyalty count. How many of your followers are actually sticking with you long term and engaging with your content? Tips and tricks used to be really, like the kind of trendy thing, especially with reels. Like here's 5 tips on whatever. It's shifting again to more value and storytelling over these tips and tricks kind of reels. And this one may surprise you guys, but it's they're anticipating we're going to be shifting from more B-roll type reels where you didn't have necessarily your face, you were just walking through doing type overs and shifting more to the talking head, getting your face in front of there. Again, we're focusing on relationship building content, and people can't feel like they're building a relationship with you if they can't see you. So, my coach is recommending that we do continue to do some B-roll because B-roll can be important in educating or getting a message across in a different way. So doing some B-roll, but really starting to incorporate more talking head videos where you're educating, storytelling, those kind of things with your face front and center. And then lastly, the quick reels. So it's been for a while now, the trend has been, those 3 to 5, 3 to 8 second reels. Those are slowly going away, and we're getting more, seeing them lean more towards longer reels. Instagram recently allowed you to have up to 3 minute reels. It used to be 60 seconds, then 90 seconds, and now they're at 3 minutes. So they're encouraging that as well. So those are kind of the big things that are changing. I've got more we're going to dive in, but I just want to pause real quick and see if anybody had any questions, thoughts, comments on those changes.
Someone shared with me once that if you really want a bump in the algorithm, be an early adopter of the new updates. So if Reels get switched to 90 seconds to 3 minutes, start pushing some 3 minute content because Instagram is going to also be supporting that as well. When carousels became a new thing, the more carousels you were doing, stories, when stories were like, as you, if you be, when, as you become an early adopter, or like the quizzes, or uh, the engagement style stickers on stories and reels. Um, Look for what updates are happening, be an early adopter of those updates, and let the algorithm assist you in growing your audience. Now, but then going back to everything you said, and this has been the key at the beginning. A lot of people complain that their stuff's getting shadow banned, or they're being ghosted, or they're being throttled back by the algorithm. The fact is it doesn't. It's just your stuff sucks.
Yeah.
So the algorithm is paying attention how fast people bounce off your stuff. And like you're not stuck in 200 view jail. You just got to get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
Exactly.
talking to me. I'm talking to me. Like this is me talking to me. I'm not looking at any one of you, Brad. Your stuff's great. I'm just talking to me.
Most of the time we are talking to ourselves. That's the thing. Okay. So a couple tips that she gave to kind of keep things rolling. We talked about, posting 3 to 5 times a week. Those would be like posts, reels, carousels, those kind of things. You should still continue to post 5 to 7 stories a day. That's like a day in the life. That's how people get to know you personally. So don't throttle back on that. Um, but really, if you want to boost the algorithm, have more people seeing your stuff, make sure that in those posts, you're also sprinkling in highly shareable content. So, what is highly shareable content? That is not talking about a you personally or a story about you. It's something that people connect with and feel like other people in their sphere might connect with as well. So they feel compelled to hit the share button. So these are going to be things like, hey, I'm going to visit the top 5 parks in the Des Moines metro area, or like the top hidden restaurant gyms, like whatever, like whatever it can be that other people in the area might want to share that make you the local expert, but aren't necessarily geared to a small real estate audience. So that's going to be something you're going to want to sprinkle in there maybe once a week. If not once every other week, so that you're getting more shares, so that the algorithm sees that you're doing what it wants you to do and is going to expand your reach across a wider audience. So I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but right now, at any given time, if you make a post, you're likely only hitting 10% or less of your friends that are seeing that post. 10% or less. So those of you that are like, I don't want to post that often because I'm going to annoy people. They're going to think that I'm saying the same thing over and over again. The same people aren't seeing your stuff. Now, if people are engaging with you, yes, they tend to be the top people that are seeing things. But that's why it's really important to get that engagement, get in front of new audiences and build that community. We're going to talk a little bit about a method I use to get connected with people that I'm friends with that haven't been seeing my stuff for a while. So it's going to be really important to do that because you want to get from that 10% up to, I think about the max they say you can get to is 40%. So you really want to try to increase that reach and who is seeing your posts. So we've got the posting highly shareable content. Now, I know we talked about it not being about likes, but I want to tell you guys how to get likes because there's a strategy around likes that can lead to lead conversion. So, for likes on your content, you want to share relatable moments. These are personal things. Now, 80% of what you put on your personal page, which is where you're going to get your lead generation, it's not your business page, it's your personal page. 80% of what you put on there needs to be about you and personal to you, not our cheesy templates that say just listed, just sold. That goes on your business page. Your personal page is about you. Did you like, for me personally, I am uber clumsy. I have always been my entire life. And so I might post something silly about me slipping and falling, watch for the ice, something silly, right? Something that's personal to me, but gets people to laugh. I like to bring people humor through my own, self issues. But I think being able to post relatable moments and help them feel like they know you and they're connecting with you. Personal updates about you, behind the scenes of what you do, like a day in the life, case studies. This is where you could be talking about stories. When you had that closing, don't put just close, tell the story of what happened to get you to the closing table, the struggles you had, the victories you had, anything that could be relatable to people. Jump on trends. This is where I know Rochelle's going to be excited to hear this because Rochelle is my TikTok girl who loves to have fun recording trends. Jump on the trends. Those are the things that are going to get you the like.
Legit, Rochelle's one of the best like lip sync. Got
She
like you're really good at those. I know how hard those are, and you've got like long one takes. I have no idea how you memorize that stuff. You nail them. So if you haven't seen them, go check out Rochelle's channel.
Rochelle's always like, Michelle, I got a new one. She's sending to me, and I'm like, okay, this is where you get comfortable getting uncomfortable,
They're
Michelle.
super funny. They're really good.
Yes, they're so fun. Um, and then again, just be funny and relatable. So those things are going to get you likes. Now we talked about likes aren't really what feed the algorithm. So why do we want likes? Because there's a technique you can use with likes to turn your likes into leads. When people like your posts, how many of you guys hit a like and you're like, yeah, I don't really feel like commenting. I don't know what to say, but I'm gonna like it. Kind of like you're lurking in the dark. Like, hey, I'm watching you, but I'm not really gonna tell you I'm watching you, right? So those are people that are on the edge. You're already, or if you're not already, you should be commenting back on every single comment, whether it's thank you, hey, great, hey, haven't seen you in a while, hey, how's so and so. You're commenting and conversing in the comments, but your likes are the lurkers that aren't committing to you fully. And what you're going to do with those likes is they're giving you insight into, hey, I'm watching you. So what you need to do is go look through the likes, go to their pages, and see what's new with them. Comment on their stuff. Maybe even DM them and say, hey, I saw XYZ happened in your life. That is so awesome. I miss seeing you. We should get together and have coffee soon. Use it as a um, kind of like a tool to get to find the people that you should start engaging with more. And the more you engage with them on social media, the more your stuff's going to show in their feed, and eventually you're going to have those DM conversation, which DMs are what lead to the leads, truly. It's your leads don't come from your comments. They don't comment and they're like, "Hey, I need to buy a house. Can you call me?" No, they DM you. So the goal of all this is build community, get them in your DMs, have the right conversations, ask the right questions to just get to know them and what's going on. They're naturally going to ask you what's going on in your life. That's going to lead into real estate and it all come together where the next time that they have a need, then they're going to be in your DM saying, "Hey, can you come look at our house?" Or, "Hey, my dad passed away and I need you to come help us sell his house." Those kind of things. So that is where the likes turn into leads. Um, a couple of cool things too I wanted to talk about too are some upcoming things, changes that aren't in the algorithm yet, but I think are going to be big. And Instagram, right now they have highlights, so you'll see those little circles at the top of people's Instagram pages where they've highlighted some of their stories. Those are going to a whole separate tab on there. So right now, you've got a tab that has like your reels, things you've shared, things people have shared with you, and then there'll be another tab for your highlights. Still making sure to use your highlights. Those are a really vital way. If you guys are posting stories and there's something that you're like, "Dang, that's good. I wish it'd stay more than 24 hours," because that's something I think my audience needs to continually be reminded of, put it in a highlight. That's how it stays more than 24 hours. And that's how you organize it in a way. Like highlights are different categories. I have one that's like real estate and one that I can't even remember, mental health. Like I've got different highlights so people can go and know which subject they're going to be looking at. The second thing is you guys have noticed the grids in Instagram have changed. The size of them is much more user friendly, but you're going to be able to post to just your grid without posting to your feed. So I guess if you thought people in your feed might not want to see something and you're trying to just put something out there that would be on your board for future use for people who are like browsing, you could do that. The other thing is you're going to be able to reorder your grid so you can put your most important posts at the top without just pinning them. And then they're going to have trial reels, and trial reels are going to be geared towards gaining new audience members. So they're not going to push out to your followers. They're going to push out to people that don't follow you, so you can try them out, test them out, and then see if they resonate with others. And then let's see. So she also talked. So we talked about posting 3 to 5 times a week. We're going to talk about what you need in she calls it the anatomy of your post. So what does your post need to look like? So at obviously you've got your picture, whatever you've got going there, and then in the post base itself, you're going to start with a hook. So you want a catchy hook. Hooks are everything to draw people in. So the top needs to be your hook. Then you've got your body with all the information. And then at the bottom, you need to be asking a question or having a call to action that encourages engagement and conversation in the comment section. I am terrible about this. I need to get better about this because I don't want to feel salesy. But the thing we need to remember is we're building relationships. We need to look at this as a tool to have conversations with people. And you're not going to have conversations if you're just posting stuff and not trying to get some engagement and comments back and forth. So you've got a catchy hook at the top, your body, and then a question or call to action at the bottom. We talked about the 80-20 rule already, 80% personal, 20% business on your personal page. You guys can have a business page too, especially on Facebook. I wouldn't worry about it on Instagram, but on Facebook, that builds credibility. It's just a site you can send people to. That's where you can post your just listed, just sold, all that kind of canned content, but you don't want that on your personal page. If you're putting templates on your personal page, the algorithm is going to see that as spammy. The algorithm doesn't want sales, and so it's going to not show as many people those kind of things. So if you want to post about your listing or different things, make sure you're just using images or video or those kind of things, and you're not using templates that say like just listed, just sold, and a ton of information. Those are great for your business page, not for your personal page. Goal here, obviously, we talked about relationships. So being the connector is huge. This is one thing that I've worked really hard on that I feel like I really do well. reading people's posts and figuring out how you can connect them with someone that can help them, whatever that be, right? And I think as realtors, we naturally gravitate towards if someone wants to buy a house, we want to help them, right? But what about when you see someone that maybe they need an electrician, maybe they need a landscaper, maybe they need a CPA? Who do you know in your world and how can you connect them with people? So just keeping that in mind, like your job isn't sales, your job is building relationships and connecting people with the services that they need. So it could be services, businesses, people, whatever it is. Matt does an excellent job of this with, especially, I mean, it's in the real estate realm, but I can't tell you how many times he said, "Oh, you need to talk to so and so. Oh, hey, did you know about this?" So knowing your world and who can help serve people, and then being that connector when that opportunity arises. I saw you were unmuted, so I thought maybe you wanted to say something.
I don't want to keep interrupting. I love I love this topic. It's my favorite.
It's your favorite.
So like as you're hearing all these great things, I think oftentimes it can get a little overwhelming with all of these updates and things to think about. I think hearing this conversation, maybe going back and revisiting this video, which you could find on our YouTube channel. It's going to be posted in the playlist for Conversations That Convert under Workshop Wednesday. So it's really easy to find again. Just make sure you go there. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, smash the bell for notifications. Um, just practice that part. And then,
That's
but like what I do, like I do follow a system and a model, and it's the 555 social media model. And Michelle talks about this in a lot of her classes. And so every day I'm looking to connect with and follow five new people in the industry that I haven't met yet. Or find five people in your sphere that you haven't followed or connected. And for whatever reason, I think Instagram unfollows people for me because I find people and I'm like, I could swear we've been following each other for forever, but I'll continue to do it. The uh leverage agent coaching or the leverage agent YouTube channel. It's us. It's the three of us. So the 555, follow five people, engage with five people, like, comment, heart, share, etc. And then message. And I do it through stories because stories are for me the most organic or natural way that I like to do it, that I don't feel like I'm being weird or creepy. When somebody posts a story, it's generally like a snippet in their life, something to share, something that's funny. Like I'll engage with the story, but then I'll also comment. And sometimes I'll comment just like an emoji, like a totally like laughing face or fist bump or something. Like, hey, this is hilarious. By the way, I've been following you. You're doing a great job. Keep crushing. Like nobody feels weird when you give them a high five. And that's one of the best ways also to change your state. I was on a coaching call with a client yesterday and they were just sitting there going, I just feel like I'm going through the motions. I'm completely unmotivated. I feel like I've lost my purpose. I said, cool, go help five people.
Yep. Yep.
And they're like, what? And I go find five people to help and then check in on how you feel.
If you guys are feeling a little overwhelmed by this 555, one thing she recommends is just go through your friend list and find 25 people that you haven't seen in your feed for a long time, and then work through those 25 over the month. 25 a month, and then eventually move to that 555. I like to call it my high five method for whatever reason. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, five people. So I add five people. I I converse with five people through commenting, likes, DMs, those kind of things. Um, the other thing with there's another 555 method as well. And that is that you want to, before you make any post, you want to go and find five people, comment on their page 5 words or more, and then make your post because it kind of wakes the algorithm up. And then the other thing she suggests is post first thing in the morning because then you have plenty of time to respond back throughout the day. Set time block though, like a lot of us are so bad about responding like this. Time block and just check in a few times a day and make that your commenting time. Literally like time block, respond to posts in your calendar. Um, don't be the post and ghoster where you post and you don't respond. That's just rude and annoying. Make sure that you're engaging with people. If you're not going to respond back to people, if you're not going to comment back, if you're not going to thank them when they comment on your posts, don't post because you're kind of wasting your time and totally missing the whole point of this relationship building algorithm. Um, Yeah. And then the big thing, if you guys take nothing away from today, the one thing that I'd love to see you all do is go to both your Instagram and your Facebook and Instagram and optimize your bios. Make sure your bio tells them what you are, who you serve. Help them understand that. If your bio doesn't tell people you're a real estate agent, do you think they're looking at all your posts and know you're a real estate agent? Probably not. So make sure your bio is super clear and that you have a link in your bio. You guys, the Stan Store, if you haven't, like Stan Store is the new link tree. Stan Store has an affiliation with Instagram. It's Instagram approved. So that's a link you can actually have in there that it will show to others and not kill the algorithm. Stan Store. And they have a new feature for those of you that were using mini chat. So like if you had the like comment listing presentation or whatever, and it would spit out your listing presentation. They do that through Stan Store now. So you can save your listing presentation in there. You can talk about a story about your seller that had a difficult time. Hey, do you want the 10 steps to staging your home to preparing your home to sell, comment stage my home. And then it will automatically, when you do that, this Stan Store is tied into Instagram and it will just send them your attachment. You don't even have to do anything. So if nothing else, optimize your bio and go check out Stan Store. There is, I think it's $29 a month, but it is money well spent if you want to lead generate in your business. All right. I know we are like at time almost here. Does anybody have any questions, thoughts, comments?
This is so good.
How many of you guys, I want to see hand. No, actually, I want you all to unmute for a minute. And I just want to hear this in chorus. How many of you guys are going to, after this call, go to your bio and update your bio and then make a nice post?
I am.
Me,
Me.
Yes.
me.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. What I would hate for is that you guys spend a half an hour on this call to learn about how to maximize your social media and lead generate, and then you took it away and you put it in the back of your head and you did nothing with it. So go just take those little steps to move forward and maximizing your social media. This is the way of the future. As much as it sometimes is annoying and overwhelming, this is what we have to do to grow our businesses. So go and grow your social media platform and we will see you guys again on Friday. I think, Matt, do you have a feature Friday or is it going to be freestyle? Or
Freestyle. Well, I recorded a feature Friday on Tuesday that we'll put on the channel, but that was the one time that he could interview. So
all right. So we will see you guys Friday.
Thank you, Michelle.
Bye, guys.